So get comfortable, find a seat. Welcome to your practice. I'm happy to practice with you on a Monday of a full moon week. So we have a full moon coming up late on Tuesday. And so this full moon's in Pisces. So the polar opposite of the energy that we've been working with, which is very focused, very mental, very like keep practicing, working on things, improving, sorting, clarifying, very you know the word, can't say it. Pisces is the opposite. Pisces is all about rest and surrender and oneness and kind of that like beauty and imperfection. But it's also about the dream and ideals. And so I know that you guys read the email that I sent, hopefully, but I think that this is a good time just to kind of like, in a sense, let ourselves dream about that when we put our efforts into things that are meaningful, that we just really don't know what's going to happen. Like, we don't know that the one thing that we thought we were just going to get a better tree pose, and next thing we know, we feel more grounded, or we feel that we have the confidence to try something else. So I want that to be our inspiration, is that little bit of levity. So I want you to kind of come into that concept of levity and spaciousness for possibility, right? Because Virgo gets down in the dirt, down into the you know, crossing your T's and dotting your I's, and all that is necessary, and a necessary part of it too is that letting go and surrender, having fun, the levity, and just the, you know, kind of that satisfaction with what is, and possibility of what could be. So we'll embrace that today. So we're going to start with the breath work that I spoke of, which is that we're going to breathe in snippets. So you can choose to breathe in short snippets, maybe 8 of them, or you can choose longer snippets, fewer of them. So maybe it's 4 snippets. But the purpose of this latter breath is to actually breathe in more than you would if you just took a deep breath, and to take pauses. So we're focusing on a slight pause in between each snippet, and 4 to 8 snippets. So you can decide if you want shorter breaths, which might sound like this. So I'm just sipping in more and more. I'm not exhaling at all, and then all the way out. Or maybe it's like we've done before, Galoma, when we've done breathe in a third, breathe in another third, and breathe all the way in, and then all the way out. So I'm gonna let you decide how many snippets you want and how long your pause is, but we'll just do this all together. So let your palms face open. Or if you feel that your mind's distracted today, you can form a mudra as you do this by placing all of the fingers together. So this is a mudra of focus and concentration. So if you feel that your mind's a little too spacey, this can help ground you. And if not, you can just rest the palms open in a gesture of receptivity. So close your eyes first and meet yourself. Kind of letting yourself create space out of your day for this practice. Space to feel, space to move, space to attune, space to let go, space to feed ourselves through our breath, through our awareness, through community. So however you enter your space, go ahead and enter your yoga space. Bringing in with you today possibility. Bringing in with you today maybe curiosity. A little bit of levity. So as you're ready, we're going to begin the Viloma Pranayama, which is that latter breath. So you're going to decide how many snippets you breathe in for how long, but do give a pause in between each one. Then it's a slow, continuous exhale out, okay? So when you're ready, exhale the breath all the way out, and then begin. Make sure you breathe all the way out. Imagine as you're breathing in that you're dimensionally filling every cavity of your body. So the lower ribs, the upper chest, all the body in 360 degrees. We're expanding the lung capacity, the ability to breathe more fully, more deeply. So even visualize as you're filling these short snippets. Maybe there's a little bit more space. And then the exhaling, surrendering, letting go. Keep your mind focused on your breathing, on your body. Aligning awareness with body, with breath, with present moment. And on your last two, see if you can get even more breath in. And then just pausing at the bottom of that exhale, breathing normally, and just noticing any shifts or changes that you experience after that breath. And noticing how it affects your mind, your emotions, your body. And then rub your hands together. And as you're bowing your head towards your hands, form your intention. So whatever you're offering your efforts to today, whatever dreams, potential that you want to awaken, take a deep breath in. Pause, hold the breath. Exhale, let it go. Breathing out that intention. Okay, open your eyes. And we're going to head on to our backs. So hugging the knees in for a moment, stretching the low back, side to side, rolling. So you can have your hands behind your head to support your neck if you'd like. We're going to bring the legs to tabletop. And we're going to extend one leg out as one knee pulls actively towards your body. And then you're just going to switch. So if you'd like to have your hands down, you can. I sometimes like to support my neck just so that my neck feels that extra support. So the one knee is actively pulling in, the other leg is actively reaching out. So if I want to have a higher diagonal, I can certainly do that. So it's inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So we're doing this with the breath. So this is active hip mobility. So I want you to feel the core engage as you bring your knee towards you, the low belly engaging. So draw that leg in. Reaching through the feet. Feeling the low back release towards the floor. So hopefully the low back and the pelvis aren't necessarily moving as you do this. So keep going. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. We'll do 4 more. And then just put both feet on the ground, take a moment, you can release your hands, just kind of breathe. Kind of feel that prana moving through the legs. Breathe in, breathe out. And then go ahead and bring your legs up to the sky. So once again, flexing your feet so that you feel the heels reach up a little higher than the toes reaching down. And so as you drop your right leg down to the floor, reach over to the left. And then you're going to lower the head, bring the legs up, and then we're going to switch. So if this is too much, you can take one hand behind your head, keep both shoulder blades lifted, and switch. And I like to do that because I tend to get a lot of tension in my neck. So keep those legs reaching up. Try to keep both shoulder blades reaching off the floor. So exhale, inhale. So we're stoking the digestion with some twists and turning and kind of getting that navel region active. So doing this with your breath. So exhaling, inhaling, coming back up, stretching. Exhale, inhale. We're going to do 4 more, then we're going to hold. 3. Now you don't have to lower your leg to the floor. It can be very low, it can be very high. 2. On this one, we're going to stay. So as you're kind of reaching up through both of the shoulder blades, reach a little further. You can even use arm and leg to press. Reach through both legs, try to scissor them apart. Take a deep breath in. And then bring both legs up, relax. Take a full breath cycle, and then we're going to go to the second side. So I'm kind of scooping that right shoulder blade up so I can reach and pull, and I can use the leverage of hand to thigh. Take an extra breath, exhale out, and then both legs up, and then both legs down. And breathe. You can let your legs go wide when you can start to windshield wiper the legs a little bit. Side to side. And then as you're ready, go ahead and come up to a seat. I'm going to kneel on my shins. We're going to do a little shoulder strengthening work to kind of support with the headstand work that we do. So start with your arms out wide to get a little chest stretch. So elbows pointing back, arms opening. On the exhale, you're going to turn your palms to face you, bringing your arms to meet if they can. Now lift your arms up as high as you can without your shoulders eating your ears, and move your palms away from each other. Okay, we're going to hold for 5. Try to breathe. Keep the lower arms pressing together. 4. Breathe. Start feeling the front of the shoulder heat up. 2. And then open it up. Inhale, breathe. Open the chest. And on the exhale, bring it together. So again, if your forearms don't touch, just go as close as you can. Now you'll lift the elbows just a hair, but notice I don't want to lift so that my shoulders come up. I just want to lift the arms so that I feel a little bit more front shoulder work. And then I'm going to splay the wrist. And I'll take 5 deep breaths, relaxing my neck. And then open it up. Last time, deep breath in. And on the exhale, bring it in. Press together slightly, lift up slightly, and then letting the forearms separate. Soften your jaw, breathe, so to feel that heat. And then last breath, and relax. Shake it out, roll those shoulders. So we just did a little bit of front shoulder opening. And now we're going to come up to kneeling just to kind of stretch the legs out. We're going to make the palms face down, and you're going to pinch the shoulder blades back. I'm going to show you the side profile. And you're going to let the arms come forward. So draw the shoulder blades back, let it come forward. So just strengthening now the back chain of the shoulders. So I'm just drawing them together, elbows kind of pointing down a bit and then releasing. Now we're going to hold for 5. Feel the elbows descending, shoulder blades drawing together, neck is easy. And then bring it forward, breathe in. I think take it back, and again, draw it back, slightly down, hold for 5 breaths, strengthening back of the body now. And then relax it. Full breath cycle in and out. Last time, elbows back, down slightly. And shake it up. Awesome. So hopefully that feels warm in your shoulders. Go ahead and place your palms down. And we'll do a little bit of cat-cow just to mobilize spine and upper back. So inhaling and exhaling at your own tempo. Kind of feeling into the core awakening here as you pull the heel of the hands back. And as you press the heel of the hands forward. So starting to wake up the shoulders even here. And then go ahead and shoot the left leg back. And then plant that left arm and reach the right arm up for a twist. So getting that calf to stretch on the left, lifting up out of the floor. So remember that work we did on Saturday of lifting and levity. And then release the right arm down, bring the left leg back in. Right toes press back so you get that calf stretch. And then as I press into the earth with my right arm, I lift and twist with my left. I can look down if this bothers my neck. Keep feeling the belly churn. And then one more deep breath. And then both hands down, both knees in. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. So working that levity here in our down dog. So on the inhale, without letting your shoulders come forward, lift your heels, bring your belly and thighs together. Lower the heels. Pull your belly towards your thighs without moving your shoulders. Feel that lift of your hips. Lower. 3 more. So trying to almost imagine that lift coming from the belly muscles. And then lifting and holding. And descending all the way down. Walk your feet a little closer and take your right arm to the outside of your left shin. Do a little twist here. Let your head go. Make sure your shin presses into your hand and you kind of lift that armpit of the left arm so that it's not caving down. Left hip draws back. Switch it out. Right arm down. Left hand to the outer right shin. The shin and the arm press together. My armpit lifts as it hollows a bit. Right hip reaches back. And then both hands down. And then go ahead and walk your hands to your feet back of your mat. Take a halfway lift, broaden through your collarbones, feel your feet anchor, and then exhale, fold. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine, exhale, fold. 1 more time. Halfway lift, bring your hands to your heart, and then press through your heels and stand all the way up. On the inhale, stretch your arms up. On your exhale, nice and slow, bend the knees and fold forward. Stay here and just take your first forward fold. So you can bend and straighten the legs, let your hips kind of sway side to side if you want. Let your head shake out, let the upper body relax from all that shoulder strengthening. And then as you're ready, climb back out to plank. So a little bit of that front shoulder strengthening, walk your toes back so that your wrists are slightly forward than your normal plank position. Stay for 5 breaths. So you can lengthen through your tailbone, so pull your navel back and let your tailbone reach towards your heels. So it's a little bit of like a tucked under position. Feel the lower belly really engaged. And then release that and walk your feet towards your hands, top of your mat. Halfway lift, bring your hands to your heart. Come all the way up to standing. We're going to do a little bit different vinyasa to start with. As you inhale, the arms come up. Then I'm going to turn my toes out and exhale down to Malasana. So it can be very wide or it can be very narrow depending on what you can do. Then you're going to go halfway lift, turn your toes in, fold forward. And you're going to step your right leg back and come to a low lunge. Arms reach up. On the exhale, we're going to twist to the left. So I'm going to do a prayer twist here. Now on the inhale, I'm going to lift my right knee towards a high lunge, getting that levity and lift. And on the exhale, I'm going to sit it back down. And I'm going to do this 2 more times. So on the inhale, I'm going to lift and find that levity. Exhale, release it down. So you can do it on the inhale or exhale. I might have said that backwards. 1 more time. And release it down. Arms stretch up, inhale. And on the exhale, hands come down, plank pose. First plank, so go ahead and stabilize the shoulders. So that little bit of squeeze in, a little bit of press out, a little bit of pull back, and a little bit of push forward. Knees down, keep your chest lifted. Chest and hips in one line. So find your plank all the way slowly to the belly. Bring your forearms forward and come to Sphinx pose. So elbows, shoulders, one line. Pull the chest forward. And on the exhale, as you tuck the chin under, pull the ribs up, come to a forearm plank. Tuck your toes under, lift up. Right arm is going to turn towards your left elbow, and then come into a side plank on your forearm. Just for 3 breaths. So lifting the hips, lifting through the left arm. Maybe the left leg lifts to add that little bit of levity. And then come back to your forearm plank. Turn your left arm in, roll to either a staggered stance or a stack. You can do either one. If you want that levity, you can lift and lower with your right leg. And then come back to your forearm plank. Drop your knees, drop your thighs, lift up through your chest. And then walk your hands back, plank pose with the chest lifted, downward facing dog. Take some deep breaths. Step your right leg forward between your hands. Bring your left knee down. Come up for a lunge just for a moment, enough to twist to your right. So I'm going to find that twist, find that churn to the belly. Then I'm going to lift the left leg for the levity. So almost like I'm like a balloon lifting. And I'm just going to tap it down. And kind of just feel that lift out of the gravity of the pulling down. And then one more time. Then you just plant your hands. Drop to the knees, lift up. And on the exhale, hands down, step and fold forward, top of your mat. Come back to that Malasana squat. So it's okay if your heels are lifted. You can go wider or take it more narrow. And then heels spin in, toes forward, fold. Halfway lift. Hands to heart all the way up. We'll do that again, but we're just going to add on. So we're just moving the thigh bones in and out, right at the hip joint. So it's not just the ankle moving or the knee. Try to move upstream, okay? Just more healthy for your joints. So I'm shoulder width apart, maybe a little wider. Arms reach up. I turn my thighs out, and I come down to my squat. Just pause for a moment, inhale. And on the exhale, hands down, heels and toes align forward. Halfway lift. And on the exhale, fold. Step your left leg back, and this time we're going to come to a high lunge. Okay? So on that exhale, I'm going to twist so I can bring my knee down. And then I'm going to lift it up and come up. So this is working our balance. So go slow. There's no reason to go really fast, but feel the press through your right heel as you lift up. Then feel that anchoring of the elbow to thigh, heel of the right leg, and then come all the way up. We're going to do this one more time. Take an extra breath to twist. Maybe your arms splay wide. Get that extra little churn. And then come back up to high lunge. And then bring your hands to your heart and place your palms back. So feel that little extra lift of the chest. And then step into a warrior 3. And then come back down. And then just play with that lift off. So I want you to kind of feel that momentum to lift and find levity. And then you might bring the hands down, find the gravity. So playing with those two a few times. And again, go slow so you can really feel that lift off, that gentle little ah. Even if it's just for a brief moment. And then last time, warrior 3, any way you want to do it. So arms back, hands at heart. And then as you're ready, we're going to lower all the way back to high lunge, to low lunge, to hands down. And then we'll come to plank pose. Take a moment. Pause, find your core. Bring the toes forward. And then as you exhale all the way down, so keep chest and hips together. And if your knees need to stay down. And then this time come to cobra pose. Lift your left leg a little bit if you can. Lower down. Lift your right leg. Use your glutes, use your abs. Come down, lift both legs. So you might be a lower cobra. And then both legs down, tuck your toes, plank to downward dog. Breathe in, breathe out. We're gonna step that left leg forward. Come to a high lunge this time. So as you're ready, you know the drill now. We're gonna twist and tap the knee down. Then I'm gonna take my time to lift all the way back up. Twist, bring the knee down. Yeah, really nice, you guys. All the way up. And I'm using my breath. I don't want to lose the breath because the breath has impact, right? All the way up. This time we hold the twist. So if you want to splay the arms and do anything different, go ahead. Really lifting the chest. And then when you're ready, come all the way back up to high lunge. We're going to let the arms come back so we feel the triceps and the back body. Same work as we did here, just different arm variation. Then I'm going to lean forward, and I can just kind of drag the leg up and then bring it back down. So I want to feel the weight shift, the ball mound just gently lift off. So kind of feeling the transitions here. As you gently lift up and find that levity. I like the inhale for that. And then the exhale. Last time we're going to pause and hold. Get a little bit lighter. And then as you're ready, toe down, high lunge. Low lunge. And then hands down. We're going to step forward to that forward fold. Then turn your toes out, your heels in, drop down to Malasana. So again, explore how wide apart you want your legs. And then hands down, parallel your feet, fold forward. Long spine, all the way up to standing. Feel that out. Nice work, you guys. We're gonna go through it one more time, adding on a little bit more. Arms stretch up, big stretch. Turn toes out, heels in, then whatever distance you need, come all the way down. Take a deep breath. Let those legs splay apart a little bit more. And then hands down, turn toes and feet in, fold forward. Now long spine, fold on your exhale. We're gonna step the right leg back, and we're gonna come to that high lunge again, coming right into it. So we're going to bring the hands to our heart. We're going to come forward into that warrior three. And then we're going to let the toe touch. And we'll bend the knee. And then we'll come right back up. And then let the toe touch. Come right back up. Let the toe touch so we're heavy. And then we get light hold. And then I'm going to take my hand to a block. You're welcome to have your hands at your heart. And we're going to twist to the left. So I'm going to go left arm out to the side and then up. You can go hand at the small of your back. Now you can come back towards warrior three and come in and out of the twist. If you want to play with that, you can even come into the twist, come out of the twist. So to kind of deciding how you want to flow. But in the last one, we're going to hold the twist, however you're choosing to express it today. Revolve, tap, move. So that left inner thigh line grounds. We get levity off the pelvis, off the left thigh bone. And then when you're ready, step it on back. High lunge. As you're ready, hands to the heart, low lunge. Hands down. Plank pose. Take some nice deep breaths. So we're going to practice the transition from chaturanga to upward dog. Keeping strong through the shoulders. So transition forward. Remember, your knees are totally fine to stay down. Chaturanga. Now come to the top of either both toes or one of your toes at a time. Now straighten your arms, lift the chest, stretch through your toes. So I'm pushing down, the levity is lifting, and the earth energy is reaching back. Then I come back towards plank to retuck, downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Take your right leg, you're gonna lift it up. You're gonna bring that right leg towards the opposite side. Feel gravity, so let your knee touch the mat. Feel levity. Feel gravity, feel levity. One more time, feel gravity, feel levity, and then shoot that leg out. Seal that back foot flat, and come into a side plank, arm overhead or arm forward. Lift those hips. And then both hands down to the floor. Bring your right knee in, step it back. Step it back. Take a nice deep breath in and a nice deep breath out. And then you're gonna step the left leg back forward. I'm gonna grab blocks, drop to your right knee, straighten your left leg. So I'm on my knee. If you wanna be up higher, you certainly can. Flex those toes back. So I like either the block inside or if I wanna go deeper outside the shin. You can do both and kind of play around with it. Right arm plants, left hand either to the hip crease to lift the chest and open, or it can come to the small of the back. So pull that left crease back, lift through the heart, feel that hamstring work. And then as you're ready, come out. You can bend both of your knees. Come back to all fours for a moment. And come into a puppy dog stretch, letting the arms reach forward, resting the forehead on the mat. So I'm lifting my front body towards my back body through the belly, and then letting my shoulder blades broaden. Okay, lifting up, bringing both hands in, downward facing dog. We have one more side. Right leg, when you're ready, is going to lift up and step forward into that high lunge. And then right away from high lunge, we're going to come forward, hands at the heart, and we're going to come into a warrior three with the leg lifted, and then we let the toes come down and we come towards like a squat. And we'll do that a few times. Levity, density. Feel the strength of your legs. Now you're in that warrior three. And so now you can either twist and then come into it, or you could come into it, come out. So there's lots of different ways to express this. I'm going to come into my warrior three, and I'm going to twist, and I might come out and come in, and then I might come down and lengthen. I'm gonna do this a few times just to start to get stable, and then I'll hold for 5 breaths. That back leg lifts vigorously. I have to feel that levity of my torso on my pelvis so that I don't get too intense. And then as you're ready, high lunge again. Low lunge again. Hands down, downward facing dog. We'll take the left leg. We'll draw it across our body. We'll let the knee tap down and we'll feel gravity and heaviness. Now I want you to use your belly to lift up and then let it come down. And use your body to lift up one more time. Use your body to lift up and then send that left foot out to the outer corner of your mat. Spin the right leg down. You can stay here or the right arm up or the right arm over your body. Now lift those hips. Lift up from the side of your waist. And then both hands down, plank, knees down, child's pose. So slowly coming up for a moment. So in between sides, I want to go through a kind of an energetic practice that I want you to try when we get to this next little part that we're going to try. And this was one of the shapes that was selected. And it kind of pairs really nice for learning crow and some other shapes. And so this energetic practice is Uddiyana Bandha. And so Uddiyana Bandha, there's 3 bandhas that we work with. We actually on Saturday worked a lot with Mula Bandha, which is the pelvic kind of lock. And so when we were really breathing and drawing energy up and out of our feet, in a sense, that is that lifting, that subtle lifting of the pelvic floor. You may not have felt it, but it's fairly subtle. But the Uddiyana Bandha is not so subtle. So we generally can activate it a little bit by just pulling our navel back. But the way we're going to activate it today is going to be really vigorous, okay? So we're going to do a round of breath of fire, just to get the belly really activated. And then we're going to practice it, okay? So this first a minute of a breath of fire, you're just forcefully exhaling through the nose, short inhales, okay? Sounds like this. So I want you to feel the belly kind of lifting up as if you're kind of like scooping energy from your navel center and drawing it up to your heart, okay? So ready? Exhale it all the way out. Begin. Be fast or slow. Doesn't matter the pace. Just let the exhale come out through your nose as forcefully as you can, quickly. Imagine energy lifting from your belly, coming out through your throat. Let's do 10 more. Now let all the breath out. Hold the breath in. Take a big breath in. Imagine your pelvic floor lifting. Imagine your belly lifting. So suck your belly button back and up towards your heart. And then let it all go. Breathe and just relax for a moment. Feel that energy. And I'm going to explain how to do Uddiyana Bandha without the breath of fire. So what you're going to do is you're going to let all the breath, I'm going to have to tell it to you before I do it because I can't talk and do it. You're going to let all the breath out. So you're going to blow all that air out. Then again, like a vacuum, you're going to pull your belly down towards your spine or back and then up. So it's almost like you're a vacuum and you're sucking everything up. This is going to give you that levity, okay? So try it. Breathe all the breath out. Without breath, pull your navel center back and up as high as you can. You'll probably feel the energy lift. If it starts to make you feel sick or like you're going to pass out, let it go. When you need to let the breath out, let the belly relax and breathe out. Do it again. Breathe in and then all the breath out forcefully. Let it all come out. Pull all the belly energy back and up. Should be able to talk because there's no breath. Lift, 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 lift. Activate your navel center. And when you need to let it go, let it go. Okay. So that's a really big expression of it. Hopefully no one felt sick. I always feel like a little notch of energy like that comes to here where it's like, whoa, that's intense. So always unmute yourself if you have a question or you're not sure. So the way we can use this is when we're going into like an arm balance or some kind of pose in which we need to get that levity, you're lifting literally the energy out of your pelvic floor and you're lifting it up towards your throat and towards your head. So it's a way to, one, activate creative energy, activate prana when you want to be creative, when you want to be confident, when you want to bring forth, right, that essence of energy. But it also works in yoga to actually get you a little lighter and a little bit stronger in your center, okay? So we're going to try this pose, and if you want to try it with this, you can just do a little experiment, okay? So I'm going to show you what we're going to do, and you might just stay with the knee to the outside. And if you want to try one leg crow, this will be our opportunity. We did a lot of back body lifting. So we've got the lower body cued. We've gotten the belly cued earlier in the pose. We're just transposing it now into the hands, okay? So you can watch and then add, but we'll go through it in cycles, okay? So come to down dog. So hopefully I'll be able to do this. I haven't done this in a long time. So I'm thankful one of you asked for this because it makes me have to up-level myself. So we're going to lift that right leg up. And we're going to bring the right knee to the outer arm. And you can just do a little chaturanga. And then you're going to lift it back up. So if you want to do Uddiyana Bandha, I take a deep breath in. I'd exhale all the breath out. And then I would kind of pull it up. And then I'd go back. So do this 3 times just with the leg. Okay, so leg to the outer arm. If you want to add the push-up, do it. Otherwise, don't. It goes to the same arm, you guys, same arm. Same arm. Yeah, you can just tap the arm or just bring it towards it. You don't have to go high. Just do it 3 times and then pause. We'll do 3 times on the other side, and then I'm going to show you what we're doing. Yeah, that looks good. So you got to bend your elbows, and that gives you more clearance to put your elbow on your thigh. Yeah. Nice. Okay, do 3 on each side, but pause and rest in between because this is a lot of work. So you can put your knees down if you need. Really use that navel center. So it's okay to round your upper back a little bit to kind of feel that pull in, okay? I bet you guys might know where we're going, maybe. Do both sides, or if you only want to do one of each, that's fine. Okay, I'm going to show you the pose. You just get where you want to get. Some people just come to the chaturanga and they don't worry about lifting the back leg, and some people can lift the back leg. And like I said, I haven't done this a long time, so I don't even know if I can lift the back leg, but I'm going to give it a good old college try. So we're going to take that leg up. I'm going to bring it forward, do my chaturanga, and I'm going to do that Uddiyana Bandha and lift that leg, lift, push into my hands, and then come back. So I want to lift through my glutes and hamstrings, all this stuff. Think about that levity lifting. Think about your arms pushing, and just see what happens. And that's Ekapada Bakasana. So I don't know, Melissa, if that's your pose, but that's what I thought you meant. So try it. Unmute yourself if you have questions. Show you where we're going to meet when you're ready. If you're still working, please just keep working. There's no rush. Thanks for trying your pose and working on it. Hopefully you brought some levity to yourself, right? Because not every day feels like it's progress forward. Like sometimes we work on these things and like some days we just don't feel we're as strong, but then like 2 days later we have a breakthrough, right? So remember, it's not always linear, but it's the effort we give towards that. Again, I'm just putting energy towards this pose. I'm being curious and aware with what I'm finding. And sometimes a step back can actually teach you something new that makes it a lot easier. So keep bringing that levity. Okay, come to your belly. Go ahead and make a forehead pillow with your arm, and then reach back and grab onto your left foot for a thigh stretch. So lengthen that tailbone so that you press your hips into the floor, and just kind of press and lengthen your quad. Did a lot of hip shortening with that last one. If you want to kick the foot into your hand, you can. Option 2 is to go ahead and take that right arm out to the side, shoulder off the mat, and then let your left leg come across your body, and you can feel the hip flexor there. My head is easy, and I can use my left palm to press. I will also get a right chest front shoulder stretch with this one. So some people can grab onto their left ankle with their left hand. I can't do that, so I keep my hand down, but if that's you, please go ahead. Or you can just kick your foot into your hand. Go ahead and release out of that. Come back to your belly, wiggle your hips a moment, and then forehead pillow, grab onto your left foot with your right hand, lengthen through your tailbone so your hips press down. Feel that quad stretch. Option 2, lift your leg up, or take your left arm out to the side and open your right foot. Come on, back nice and slow. Wiggle your hips, come back to a child's pose, or for some people, they like a down dog after that, just to level out the hip. And then go ahead and come onto your back when you're ready. If you have a strap, grab one. If you don't have a strap, it's okay. I'll show you what to do instead. Go ahead and lasso right in front of your heel with your strap. So again, don't worry if you don't have one. I'll show you what you'll do. With your thumb, press your thumb into your hip crease and draw that hip down and back. And then you're not gonna do a twist. You're just gonna bring that leg slightly across the body, like maybe 4 inches. Flex your foot and bring your toes forward. So this should be just a lateral hip stretch. So if you don't have the capacity to have a strap, lay on your left leg, on your left hip, and just bring your right leg to the floor. And you can kind of bring that leg up your body as high as you want. So I have stacked hips for this. Slightly different. You could also just bend the knee and let the knee come towards the floor. Okay? So once again, heel flexed, hip draws down, and I'm just moving the leg towards the midline like 3 or 4 inches. Back of my pelvis stays on the mat. So it's just a lateral outer hip stretch. Take 5 more deep breaths. Then go ahead and, if you have the strap, go ahead and take that leg out away from your body for a groin stretch. If you don't have a strap here, you can find a half happy baby and bring your thigh towards the floor. You can also find a straddle stretch, and you'll just hold both. You'll get to do it again. So you can do this, knees bent, knees straight. Try to widen through your pelvis and anchor through your left hip. And then leg comes in. You can lasso both feet in for a moment just to kind of re-neutralize your back. Those of you that don't have a strap, you could find a bridge. And then it's going to go across your left heel. Again, right leg down. Thumb in your hip crease to bring the hip down towards your heel. Then again, I don't move my hips. I just let the leg travel 3 to 4 inches to the right for that lateral hip stretch. And the more I bring my toes up towards my nose, it's going to deepen that hip. Fully extend the kneecap if you can. Start to breathe a little deeper as we get into the hips. And then when you're ready, take the leg out and away from your body. So I like to either have my hand at my hip or out to the side just to keep that right side anchored. Reaching out to that inner heel, to the inner thigh. Widening through the pelvis to the torso. And then take another full breath in and out. And then the leg's going to come in. We'll all do a bridge. So taking the feet hip distance, palms up or palms down, reach the armpits down and lift your hips. Feel free to clasp if you want a little bit more of a back bend. Feel free to add on to this. So you can either stay here for your inversion, place a block underneath or add on, or those of you that want a different inversion, go ahead and take your inversion. So inversion is anything hips over heart. So whatever is suiting you today. Headstand you can do again, shoulder stand, plow, handstand, right? Anything. Just be very attentive to your breath. Maybe soften your eyes a little bit. Have the space between your eyes soften a little bit. So come down at your own kind of timing. So if you want to stay, go ahead. I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. So we're just going to rub our hands together for a moment. Then I'm just going to have you either put your heel of the hands over your eyes, kind of closing off your third eye, or you can tap with your fingers your third eye for a moment. Just take some deep breaths and tap the space between your eyes, or again, you're holding the prana over the eyes. Take about 5 deep breaths to do this. And then come into a resting position of your choice. So that can be seated, that can be on your back, can be legs on the wall. I'm going to guide you through a little meditation for a moment, and then I'll give you your relaxation in Shavasana, but a little bit of mind tuning to get ready for the full moon. So as you get into your relaxed position, deepen your breath, get comfortable. Allow yourself to feel your body, to feel grounded in your body, supported by your mat, the earth beneath you. And then just letting your awareness get a little bit more broad, so that maybe your awareness extends outside of your body, outside of your mat, higher than your body. So let it kind of come out, so that you feel yourself expand a bit, more than what you can sense, feel, and decipher with your felt sense of your physicality. And imagine that your body was transmitting energy. And this energy can come in the form of desires, wishes, intentions. And imagine that this energy is smooth and fluid, clear, and is sending out signals into the universe of what you will magnetize, what you will draw to you. Think about it being your potentiality. So imagining that this can get broader, larger, more powerful. Maybe so powerful that you feel it's like an antenna extending deep, deep out into the earth, high above the clouds, giving you two-way communication. One, transmitting your desires, your intentions, and also perceiving coincidences, synchronicity, connections, intuition, ideas. And through that antenna or through your awareness, letting it travel all the way back down into your awareness so that you notice those synchronicities, those magical moments when your intention is met with a response, even if it's small incremental ways. Even as basic as a pose that you're aspiring to do, you're aligning with your strength, your willpower, your confidence, aligning with the instruction that inspires you, the helpful hint. Take another breath into that perspective. And then just rest. Bring your awareness back into your body, back into the mat, and just relax. Then a renewed sense of confidence, of clarity, of potentiality. My mind is clear. I am focused on those things in which I desire to draw towards me, towards those things that allow me to feel abundant, vibrant, joyful, fully alive. I radiate my essence with my actions, with my thoughts, with my intention. And so it is. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you feel ready to lift up into a seat, bring yourself there, rubbing your hands together once again. This time over your heart. Bowing towards your efforts in the practice, your efforts to show up. Knowing that they too create a certain sense of momentum. Each time you show up, each time you put your awareness towards anything that you are desiring or anything that you want to create, right? It's meaningful. It creates a certain momentum that only can increase each time you come, each time you bring your thoughts back there, each time you take steps. So let all that momentum be felt as an inspiration to continue forward, to continue your practices, to continue having a hope and a faith in yourself and your practice so rich that it draws you to gratitude for what you know is coming. Thank you for practicing. The light in me honors the